Hi, and welcome to Thursday Comics. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. The final order cutoff for Jack Kirby's Star Warriors is this Monday, Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28th. Ask your local comics retailer to reserve a copy for you. Journey into Mystery with the Mighty Thor, number 122, Where Mortals Fear to Tread. We have a really nice Jack Kirby penciled cover with Wollywood inks. And it's a really nice combination, a combination I wish we would have seen more of during Kirby's 60s Marvel period. The Mighty Thor, Where Mortals Fear to Tread. Last issue, while battling the dreaded Absorbing Man, Mighty Thor turned to aid a helpless child. As he did so, his foe struck him from behind, downing him. And now, a new Marvel masterwork, steeped in spectacle, fraught with fantasy. I've beaten Thor at last. Now nothing on earth can stand up to the Absorbing Man. Does he think the God of Thunder can be so easily dispatched? Did he not suspect I was merely stunned? Written with compassion by Stan Lee. Drawn with comprehension by Jack Kirby, inked with competence by Vince Colletta, lettered for compensation by Artie Simic. And as always, Jack Kirby is not just the artist of this comic, he's also the co-writer. So this, epic battle, which raged for the entirety of the previous issue, continues. We're, well into this, just really great period of 60s Marvel, where Jack and Stan and Steve Ditko are redefining the rules of superhero comics. And, we just get this epic battle royale, smashing cars, smashing each other. And Loki's watching on. He's got the wizard Ularak sealed up in the floor of Ularak's dungeon. And now Loki has access to all of his, magic apparatus. With each passing hour, more and more of Odin's picked warriors go forth from Asgard on routine patrols, so unsuspecting is Odin of the danger that threatens that he permits a mere skeleton force to remain within the Golden City. And with Thor himself still on Earth, the moment for me to strike has finally arrived. But I must use every weapon, employ every bit of cunning, of villainy that I am master of, and at this fateful moment I shall rally the power of the Absorbing Man to my side. All I need do is direct this attractor beam to Earth. Thus I shall save my human puppet from defeat, while his power will ensure my own complete victory. Loki, a master of strategy, a master tactician, waits until Odin's forces have gone various places, and then waits until Thor is, battling the Absorbing Man, and then on Earth, and then plucks the Absorbing Man away. An explosion has happened above. It's Jane Foster. Now she's, passed out from the fumes. Just as he transforms to Don Blake, the hooded figure steps out and snaps a picture of Thor, sort of caught in the act of transformation. I meant her no harm. She was merely the bait which I needed to catch you. I guess he started the fire, assuming Thor would come to, Jane's rescue. It's a convoluted plot, not thoroughly thought through, I'm sure, but it's just so much fucking fun. It's like, who cares? It, sounds good to me. I'd have risked anything, even my life, in order to get that one picture. If you've learned what I suspect you've learned, you should know I can't allow you to keep that knowledge. I also know there's nothing you can do about it. And then he takes his mask off. Horace Hobbs, the affiliated press reporter. We met the first time Thor fought the Absorbing Man months ago. Will you ever forget that thrilling moment in Thor 114? Stan. You mean the first time you fought him, don't you, Dr. Blake? I know your secret now. So that was the guy in the mask, a guy from a couple issues ago, and he's, kind of like, I could imagine, Frank Miller taking inspiration from this for that issue. I think it might be the first Daredevil issue that Frank Miller wrote the script for, the one with Ben Urich, where Ben Urich has, the story of the century. He's figured out Daredevil's identity as Matt Murdock. This is sort of a similar thing. This guy's got the picture of the century, this reporter, and the story of the century. Donald Blake is Thor. So now we're back at Loki's workshop in the castle of Ularak, and pretty cool looking. Absorbing Man is ready to fight, but in the second it takes him to swing his ball and chain, Loki teleports him to an icy wasteland and then teleports him back. And I hope you learned your lesson. I hope that's humbled you. Now heed my words. If you serve me faithfully, without question, you and I can share dominion of the universe. But if you defy me, your punishment will be swift and merciless. I get the picture. So he takes him to Odin's palace. I mean, Loki is just such a great villain, and it's great to have a villain with like these grand plans. And so he brings him in. You squares don't cut no ice with me. I can lick the whole bunch of you. What Loki says goes. And then he just starts attacking the hordes of Asgard. It's kind of cool to see this this contrast where you have this sort of supervillain, dressed up like, oh brother, where art thou, or something, a criminal from like the 1920s with like, the stripes and the ball and chain, fighting, these Asgardian warriors. And they clash, and his ball and chain hits this guy's mace, and so he turns into a living mace. The battle continues, just really great stuff. And, we get a little bit of medical drama as Rex Morgan or something, as Don Blake, takes care of Jane Foster, and she's so glad to see him again. But he gets reminded that there's a phone call for him from Hobbs. He has a meeting with Hobbs. He does his transformation. Again, Kirby ever so slightly refining these transformation sequences and just, doing really great stuff with them. Now he flies off for their sort of secret rendezvous. I'm not here to discuss terms, mortal. You have the photo. I want it. There is nothing more to be said. Hold it, Thor. Don't try any strong-arm stuff on me. I don't have the picture with me. It's hidden in a safe place. You've got to deal with me. I hold all the cards. I'm not trying to cause any trouble, Thor, but as a reporter, I've a job to do. And if you'd give me the whole story beyond your double identity, it would be the scoop of the century. By the bristling beard of Odin, you presume too much. The god of thunder is no grist for a newsman's mill. You possess that which no mortal has the right to possess. You may not keep it. Rage all you want, I'm not afraid. I know you're pledged never to harm a human. I do not need to cause bodily injury. There are other means. He's creating some sort of wind vortex with his hammer right before my eyes. So he pulls him into his vortex, takes him through time. And, now we're in like an EC science fiction comic. He's threatening to, leave him in, this primordial earth to be, presumably eaten by dinosaurs. To the god of thunder, anything is possible. I could deposit you safely below and abandon you. I would be true to my oath not to harm a mortal. What happens to you after I leave would be no concern of mine. So, Thor is playing tough. Among us hide the Inhumans. We're getting close to the story where he lifts up the heavy stuff. And now, I love this stuff. That he travels to the deep, deep, deep future. I love anything where you get a glimpse of the deep future, where it's like this sort of post-human future, which Kirby will visit again from time to time. It makes me think of the book The Time Machine, where he sort of fast forwards to this weird, future where there's just, beyond the future of the Morlocks and the Eloi, and to this future of these sort of like crab-like creatures crawling across an unrecognizable Earth. The future. You are looking at the world millions of years from your own 20th century. Earth is about to collide with another dying planet, and the human race has long since emigrated to the beckoning stars. You might not be too lonely here, for a new race is evolving, as you can see. Take me back, please, take me back. So be it. I salute your courage, mortal. Your experience has shaken you, but it has not broken your resolve. Yet I cannot permit you to keep that fateful picture. I am grateful to you, Thor. You have been generous. You proved your power without actually harming me. If I vow to destroy the evidence of your dual identity, will you grant me one favor, one last boon, if it be within reason? Take me to Asgard. Let me see the fabled city, the legendary glory, just once. So Thor considers this. Very well, mortal, your wish is granted. Prepare to behold wonders such as men have only dreamed of before. The battle continues. Now the Absorbing Man has turned into a living spear. Just really inventive transformations. And now he faces the god himself. Who dares invade the sanctum of Odin, the All-Wise? So you're the guy I'm after. You don't look like so much to me. None speak thus to the Lord of Asgard. What madness is this? You still stand after having been struck with a cosmic bolt by Odin? Gramps, you got a lot to learn. I can absorb anything you shoot at me. I'm like loaded with cosmic energy now. Then it's true. My very rule is being threatened for the first time in a millennium. Skip the big words, Pops. All that counts is power, and I got that to spare. Now that I soaked up the force you hit me with, here it is right back at you. Let's see how you can take it. The end. Spectacle beyond words, wonders beyond description, surprises beyond any mere mortal expectation. All these and more shall be yours next issue. Don't dare miss it. We have spoken. So yeah, you get that sort of culture clash that's a part of the Marvel formula, where you get a sort of haughty figure speaking in, flowery phrases, and then a sort of, down and dirty guy, skip the big words, just really nice. And again, a great cliffhanger. I mean, you're not going to skip an issue. The Grim Spectre of Mutiny. So the Tales of Asgard backup story is heating up too. Now we have that mutiny that's sort of long been threatened. Driven by your mad vanity, you are leading us to our doom, but we shall sail no further, Thunder God. We stand with Loki. Give the command, Thor. We must turn back. And we get that guy who, showed up in the Masters of the Universe movie, a Stan Lee story spectacular, a Jack Kirby penciling panorama, a Vince Colletta delineation drama, an Artie Simic lettering landmark. So, for the first time in a while, Artie Simic does not get a put down in the credits. And as always, Jack Kirby is the co-writer of this story, at the very least. This is great high drama. Silence, you spineless dolts, I'll hear no more. We sail to save Asgard in the name of Odin. There shall be no turning back. Thor has spoken. Then Loki claims command of this ship. To my side, warriors. Put the Thunder God in chains. So Loki's been waiting for an excuse or a moment like this to, launch into this. If you're doing a sea story, a sort of a nautical journey, you got to have a mutiny in there at some point. You dare to mutiny, my hammer shall answer for me. Fight on for Thor and Asgard. Strike in the name of Loki. So we have this great, battle scene, as only Kirby can do. And then we get to see the Warriors 3, soon to be christened Warriors 3. Right now, they're just, 3 characters. But Fandral the Dashing, who we didn't really know what to make of him when he was introduced, now he's joining the fray, and he's there to back up Thor. And then Hogun the Grim as well, fighting the mutineers. Mutiny, the very word makes the hackles of Hogun rise. Volstagg himself. Fear not, Thunder God, thou hast the support of invincible Volstagg. The mere sight of my noble self makes strong men tremble. Stout blows from thy hand would not be amiss either, enormous one. Great dialogue. Of course, son of Odin, I was merely awaiting the proper moment to strike, and now who shall be the first to feel the wrath of Volstagg? This will still thy boastful tongue. So a guy in the distant background throwing a mace at him, hits him right in the back of the head, and throws him into some of the bad guys, crushing them. He accomplished more in defeat than he could have in victory. And now, don't forget, it's double jeopardy. We have the mutineers, but we also have this horrible storm that's raging, that's washing onto the decks, threatening to sink the boat. Look above us, that figure. Who can it be? I recognize his visage. In truth, I would know him anywhere. 'Tis Balder the Brave, lashed to the ship's figurehead. He continues to blow his horn as though serenading the dreaded pillars of Utgard which lie directly ahead. What madness is that? Strapped to the figurehead like Odysseus. If this does not save the ship, then truly we are doomed. Balder, come down, it is too late. We cannot escape the maelstrom. Even now we are entering the zone of death between the two awesome pillars. There can be no turning back. We must accept whatever befalls. Next issue, sail with Thor and his immortal crew as they head directly into the dragon's jaws. Forsooth, thou must not miss it. A really great epic ongoing soap opera. So we have this ongoing epic in the main story, a complementary ongoing epic in the back matter, each complementing the other. And then we have the Hammer Strikes letter column. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, The Adventures of Adam Star and the Solar Legion. Monday, August 28th, Jack Kirby's birthday, is the final order cutoff date for Jack Kirby's Star Warriors. So ask your local comics retailer to reserve a copy for you. I'll see you next time for Thursday Comics.